I was overweight and looked terrible, but AIDS helped me lose 46 pounds.
Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for joining me. As always, my name is Jim, and I've got a pretty rad flashlight to share with you today. Something that's wildly different than everything else in its category, which would be a small 14-500 sized light. Now, if you're a flashlight collector or just an enthusiast on any level, you already probably have a number of 14-500 powered lights, just like I do. And they come in all shapes and sizes, but generally they're going to be fairly small like this. This one is much smaller than all of the ones out here on the table. And this has features that I have never seen on anybody else's light. Yeah, look how compact that little booger is. That is one of the big reasons that you're probably going to want to buy one of these whenever you come across one. But it's not just about the size. We're also going to talk power, and we're going to talk versatility, and believe it or not, utility. This is the Loop Gear SK-03. Now, if you've watched other videos of mine when it comes to flashlights, you know that I have come out here with a Loop Gear, the Skywalker SK-01, which was an absolutely insane tactical style light with all kinds of disco auxiliary lights and all kinds of spinners and little gadgets all over it. A truly insane flashlight. This one is every bit as innovative, but it's not quite as crazy. It's a bit more toned down and a little bit more serious on the utilitarian level. Let's talk about the packaging first before we get into the light. You get this open, there's going to be a spare O-ring inside. Now I want to clarify, there are two different ways that you can buy this. You can buy this as the SK-03, or you could buy it as the SK-03 Pro, which is a kit that gives you this. I'll discuss what that is in just a moment. If you get the kit, you do not get the extra O-rings. I don't know why that is, but it is. The only thing that I don't have sitting here in the packaging that you would normally get is the standard pocket clip, because that's how I purchased this. I got this as the standard model with the pocket clip because I wasn't paying attention when I ordered the darn thing. I knew that I wanted to have this attachment right here, but I forgot that when it came down to actually ordering it. So I got it with the regular clip, but I've since replaced the clip with this, so I didn't put it back in the packaging. You're also going to get this USB-C cord, and that cable does not charge the light. There are no open ports here for that cable to plug into. You actually do have to remove, is it the head or is it the tail? It's been a while since I've taken this apart. I think it's going to be the tail. Yeah, you open it from the tail. And you're going to have the port. I thought there was. Oh, I changed the battery. I'm sorry. There will be a port on the battery that comes with this. The Loop Universe batteries, they have their own proprietary battery. It will have the port on the battery. It helps when you're not using a whole bunch of flashlights all the time. I am an obsessed collector, so I use a lot of my lights. So I have changed the battery out to a different battery. Now, let's talk about some of the things that really wow you about this light. It's powered with the 14500 as we spoke about, and it's somehow cranking out 1,000 lumens and 3,600 candela, throwing that beam distance out to 120 meters. And it's not just that, this thing has some crazy tricks up its sleeve. Like that first live-in girlfriend that you had, this thing has a bunch of secrets and even more personalities to surprise you with. Now, the Cree XPG4 is obviously going to be the main star of the whole thing, but what's going on right here that you can't see, another big attraction for this light. Now, a lot of us will put tritium on our lights because we're overgrown children and we love things that glow in the dark. It helps you locate your flashlight when it's already dark and you need a flashlight. So what they've done is what they call electrotritium or electrotrits. So it has these very faintly glowing LEDs built into the body that you can turn on or off, or you could turn brighter, or you could turn insanely bright, or you can turn into a strobe mode. Oh, and yes, you do have a glow gasket built in to the TIR optic here. So how useful are these? Well, when you're in a completely dark room and your eyes are already adjusted to complete darkness, the default glow on these, very much like tritium, it's a low glow, but it's steady and it's constant and you can very easily see it. Now, if you want it to be a little bit brighter and maybe even see it from across the room easily, you could put it on step 2. Now, here's the cool thing. If I take it to step 3, it's like a small lantern. It lights up a really good area around it. You could literally set this up here and read things. I just finished doing the Pineapple Mini review. That's why it's sitting out here. You could just sit here and read if you wanted to. That's how wonderful this is. And then there it is in its constant glowing state. And that right there was the main reason I felt I had to have this light. Now, what is going on with this crazy attachment on the side? Well, we'll get to that here in a second. On the light itself, you have a choice of aluminum or titanium or stainless steel bodies. I chose the aluminum because I really wanted this blue color. They had some really cool choices in titanium as well. By the time I came around to discovering this, the titaniums were already sold out. Now, if you get the Pro kit, you get this crazy thing here called the multi-function stand. Or you could purchase the stand separately, which is what I had to do. Now, it's a shame because you're forced to choose between the practicality of having a pocket clip or this multi-tool stand, and you can't use both at the same time. But here we are. So, this cannot be used as a pocket clip as much as you're tempted to try it. And yeah, you can pop this down into your pocket, but this, even though it has a detent built in, it's actually on this side over here, so you get that wonderful positive click, it's not strong enough to simulate what a pocket clip is going to do. So you're going to end up tossing this whole thing in your pocket just like a light that doesn't have a pocket clip at all. And it's kind of a shame because this thing is so nice, so beautiful, and so well done that you want it to be more convenient for you to use all the time. And for me, if it's going to be a light I'm going to use all the time, it's got to have a pocket clip. I have plenty of lights that don't have pocket clips that just drop into your pocket, but I don't carry them nearly as often. So, as promised, we're going to talk about the multi-function stand. As you saw, yes, it's used as a stand. However, the other neat trick, you just turn that 90 degrees, push that out, turn it back 90 degrees to lock it. You have a bottle opener, and you have a knife. I think it's more of a scraper, to be honest with you. It's not really a sharp edge or anything. So you have like a little chisel, I wouldn't use it as a pry bar. I was going to say pry bar, but that's going to bend and break super easy. So you've got a little bit of a scraper here, so you can just kind of scrape things off. Bring that back 90 degrees till that's in line. Slide it back. Lock it into place so that you don't stab or cut yourself. And all back together. Now, if you're like me, you've always got knives on you or a pry tool or something, so you may not need to spend the extra money to have the stand, but I did honestly just to complete the setup for this review. It's neat, but it's not worth the money in my humble opinion. The regular pocket clip works phenomenally well and is really the best way to go if you're buying this to have as a practical carry EDC light, which once you see the power that it's got, that's what you're going to want to do. Because again, this little tiny booger right here is 1,000 lumens with 120 meters of throw. It works really, really well. Now, as I mentioned, the articulated arm here does have a nice detent. So it feels very solid. Doesn't feel cheap at all. Now, over years, is it going to wear in and feel a little bit looser? Perhaps. But it shows no indication. I've had this for like 6 months. No indication of that whatsoever. So let's talk specs real quick. Kind of set this up so it looks all cool and everything. Your LED inside is the Cree XP-G4, pushing out 1,000 lumens to 120 meters. Your battery, again, is a 14500. It is a dual fuel, however, so if your battery runs dead and you only have access to a AA conventional alkaline battery, you can put that in there for greatly reduced power, but it will still work. You've got 4 main modes. You've got the blinkies for strobe, SOS, and beacon, and IP68 waterproof rating. I really dig this thing. UI is simple. It's press on or off. Once you're on, you press and hold to go through your modes. Double click to turbo. All the stuff that we're used to with most everybody else's UI. And it's got a look unlike any other light on the market. So anyway, with that, I think we need to go outside, see how she performs. SK-03 in the dark. My goodness, look how bright those are. That is insane. There's our medium, there is our high, and there is our magnificent turbo.